Man goes to cop to report threat, arrested by the police. Hi again and welcome. This is Links 007 TV News Report. We'll have this plus more stories to come in this newscast. We'll be right back after this short break with the full details to come. Welcome to Links 007 TV News Report, providing you with the best in local and international news updates. This is a place where you can get the most reliable and informative news information. Links 007 TV News Report. Welcome back and thanks for joining us. This is Links 007 TV News Report. A man who managed to elude the police after being suspected of committing a murder in Kingston 7 months ago was recently arrested when he went to the Trenchtown police station to report a threat. The complainant, who ended up being charged with murder, assault at common law, and illegal possession of firearm, is 25-year-old Dwight Thomas, otherwise called Boy Boy. He is a security guard of Arnett Garden, Kingston 12. The police said that he was charged in connection with a murder on Mexico Way, Kingston 12 on August 30, 2021. According to the release from the Corporate Communications Unit, the Jamaica Constabulary Force Information Arm, Thomas and another man were involved in a dispute with a 56-year-old individual identified by the name Philip Lawrence when he allegedly used a pickaxe to inflict a chop wound to Lawrence's head. He then allegedly pointed a firearm at another man who ran to the assistance of Lawrence. Thomas and the other man escaped in the area and Lawrence was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Then on March 2022, Thomas went to the Trenchtown police station to file a threat report and he was arrested and charged in connection with Lawrence's murder. His court date is to be finalized by the police. Continuing the news. $40 million worth of ganja found on Westmoreland Beach. Members of the Area 1 Narcotics Division on Sunday seized ganja valued at more than $40 million in a shed on a beach in Whitehouse, Westmoreland on Sunday. 2 men were arrested in connection with the seizure, but the police have not yet released their names. Reports from the police are that at around 10:30 p.m., the lawman conducted an operation in the area during which a shed located on the beach was searched and the drugs found. The police said that ganja has a street value of $300,000 and was allegedly packed for export. Police, in making the find, urging citizens to desist from these illegal acts as they will be prosecuted, the Jamaica Constabulary Force Narcotic Division said. Efforts to disrupt and prevent the exportation of drugs from Jamaica's borders will continue to be our top priority, the police stated. Continuing the news. Victims in St. James triple murder identified. Minister of National Security Dr. Harris Chang says that the St. James Police are following strong leads into Saturday morning's triple murder in the inner city community of Norwood, St. James. 5 other persons were shot and injured in a deadly attack which took place in the area which forms part of the Zone of Special Operation which was imposed in Norwood, St. James on June 20, 2021.
In that part of Norwood we call Warika, unfortunately, the name, unfortunately, but essentially a working class community, residential community, and we have not had any significant event of violence for some time. But this morning first there was a shooting early in the night, very early morning on a area called Cherry Garden where a young man was killed at his house. We are not sure, but it appears to have been some retaliation to this by his friends and family on this community, which was not aware involved in any kind of activity at all. 8 people were shot, 3 died almost immediately, and there's a 14-year-old girl student who is currently in hospital battling for life. She was shot in her living room, standing in her living room. A bullet that straight bullet through a window. A very difficult situation for the community, and I've met with a number of the family members. In fact, one of the young men is one of my students. He was a term since I helped his parents put him through school. Sober, working young person, bright young man, looking towards going to college. So it's a very particularly traumatic on the family, but for the entire community. It's a very close-knit community. In fact, that's where they have their own name. It's not so much for mimic anywhere in the corporate here, but they're a very close-knit community. In fact, it's only But 3 years ago, I opened the road right through so you can drive straight through. So we can live together, work together, and they have been very quiet and essentially peaceful for in this area for some time. It's part of the zone of special operation, and I think the police has good information and intelligent activity, and we expect them to apprehend the criminals very quickly. Right? They are clear indication of where they came from and who they are. And as I said, the police have been showing their professional skills very, very effective in the last week, and finding the intelligence quite effective. So I expect them to find the perpetrators of this very heinous crime and get to them off the street. It doesn't stop, of course, the trauma with our family. As I said, very, very painful, very disturbing. The young man, as I said, all of them are my constituents, but as I said, Damien was somebody who had a lot of I feel special about him. He just completed school successfully, working to really go on to have a very productive life. Bright young man, you know, just shut out like that in the government. But again, it shows the need to keep getting the guns out the street. We have to, yes, change the behavior of young men, but we have to keep the guns out. Okay. This year has been very quiet since, in fact, the first incidents in the zone of special operations declared.
The deceased has been identified as Damian Minter, age 22, Leroy Martin, age 25, and Delana Spence, all of Norwood St. James addresses. Reports are that around 9:45 a.m., a group of persons were on a roadway along Cherry Gardens in a section of Norwood St. James when they were pounced upon by a group of men armed with high-powered weapons who opened fire, hitting 8 persons. The police are theorizing that the triple murder was in retaliation for Friday night's gunslaying of Devanto Lindo, who was taken out in his Cherrygana home around 9:15 p.m. Hours after the attack, Dr. Chang, who is a member of parliament for St. James Northwest, visited the community which forms part of his constituency. ACP Clifford Chambers also led a team of police into the area. Links 007 TV will continue to track these stories plus more to come. This has been Links 007 TV News Report. Thanks for watching.